So I will show you. I trimmed that bush from what I could reach last night. It was almost dark when I did that. Just taking the dead branches off. Still haven't cleaned the branches up. Those are my poles that I used last year in my garden. I've got to move those, see what's good and what's not, so I can mow. And so I can access out and through there. That whole area there is another whole project. That's gonna be a bitch right there. So I have mowed, but I cleared this whole ditch. This is what I did last year. I opened this up, and last night I cut a bunch of brush with loppers, and then I just took my push mower with a mulching blade and just ran everything over, right? Put the setting on high. I didn't get here because I ran out of oomph, and there are some rocks there, so I've got to dig in there a little bit better. But I opened this up here, mowed it, and I've got to lower the lawnmower blade because there's pretty good stubbles here. I mean, look, I bush hogged it with the with the lawnmower. But anyway, so I opened this up. This is, like I said, this is a ditch, and there was a lot of wild blackberries in here. And trust me, there's plenty of blackberries around, so I could do away with like 50 to 75 of them. And they'll come back up anyway if I don't keep this mowed. And that's the trick, folks. If you are opening up a new area and you've cut the brush, that brush will eventually die back. It'll eventually grow if you don't keep mowing it. But the trick is to keep mowing. But this here is my, I just did this morning, is my indeterminate tomato plant frame, I guess. I am going to try the string method. I'm not sure. I have never done it before. I heard it works well. So I've got them secured in the ground pretty good. And I've got to get some more screws. I only had 8 screws that will screw in there. So I've got to, it's not done, folks. But this is a 42-foot trellis for some of my indeterminate tomato plants. I could, and I might, go another, I can go probably another 20 feet that way if I wanted to, but I don't want to crowd my cherry. So I can go another 12 feet easy, and I might just have to. And this right here is birch bark. That white birch there, that one doesn't go in the road, but it may eventually. But these are all this was a great big clump of birch trees, and one by one they were cut. So what happened originally is there was one birch tree in the middle, and apparently it was cut years ago, and the stump rotted down, and like any hardwood, it tries to survive, and it sets up bushes, birch bushes, and if they are allowed to grow, then they turn into trees, right? So that's what this is. That would make, where that stump rotted down, I bet I could plant something right in there. I bet I could. Actually, that's a thought. This here is a ball of some sort of root system. I'm not really sure. I know alders are growing up through it, and it looks like a few small maples, so it might have been a clump of just whatever was growing there. Now, I did leave some blackberry bushes in here. Blackberry bushes are everywhere, folks. So I've got to pick this bark up, this birch bark. That's the thing with birch bark. It's white, and at a distance or at a glance, it does look like trash. It really does. So anyway, back to this. This is my string trellis, and I'm going to give 2 feet between each plant. I think that is plenty. We will see. We will see how many tomato plants will not fit in my garden. This will be the overflow tomatoes. So I'm going to try the string method for the first time, and we will see. We will see. But I still haven't picked up my brush. I've got a rock over there I dug out, and I'd like to rake this and clean that. I'm going to leave that blackberry bush, I think. So, busy is as busy does, and we make it work one way or the other, folks. I didn't have a clue how I was going to do that. I just started. I looked to see how much, what I had in my scrap lumber pile, and I said, okay, I've got enough for a 5-post, and I've got enough if I cut to length, because each one of those 2x2s were 16 footers from our sawmill. Actually, they were 16 feet 8 inches, but I cut them down, and there we go. Cleaning this area out here was not fun. Actually, it looked like that over there. It was quite a mess. So there was a lot of cutting and a lot of running over them with the mulching lawnmower blade, right? Push mower. So there we go. That's the agenda. That was the agenda for this morning.